Welcome. Today we're going to be discussing the technique cross of destruction, its execution, some things that can go wrong with its execution and how to fix them, and some things you can do to better enhance it. So let's talk about the ideal attack. The ideal attack is a two-hand choke from the rear. It is a choke, it is not a shoulder grab. So they are actually reaching around with the fingers to come across the front of your throat. So the reason why that's important is because what's going to happen to their hand when we do our defense. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be stepping directly to the side. This is to move your center line off their center line. So if you watch from the front, as I step, you're going to see my center line gets moved off. That is just in case he's trying to pull or whatever. It makes it harder for him to do that. Now, at the same time that you're going to be doing that, you're going to be taking your left and right hand simultaneously. You're going to be grabbing, and then we'll discuss that in just a second. And as we step off to the side, we want to anchor our elbows down to our body like this. Okay, we don't want them out and pulling this way, because if I begin to pull this way, all he has to do is anchor his elbows, and then he's going to take advantage of me by removing my lever. I want to do the exact opposite to that. I want to take advantage of his lever by making him go up onto his tippy toes like that as I apply pressure. So now let's describe what's going on. If you notice where my hand is, it's right below the thumb. So as we begin to press, this part of his thumb is going to be pushing against my neck, which basically puts him into a thumb lock. So as you do this, you want to not pull the hands forward, but apply pressure forward and down at like a shape of a V as you anchor your elbows, which makes him do that. So that's the effect that you want to get. Some people have double jointed thumbs, which makes that really hard, which is why you need to move on to the next part of the technique. If they do that, and you feel as if there's no pressure here. So now, next part of the technique. What I'm going to do is basically step like I'm going to do in thrusting salute. So I'm going to set my right foot back here and just get into a stable base. Now, if you notice his foot was there. If I happen to hit the foot and sweep the foot, that's fine. If it's over off to the way and you can't get to it, that's fine too. It doesn't matter. That could be an insert if you want to do it. What you shouldn't do is try and make a big loop in order to try and sweep that foot, because that's just too long and you're not obeying the rule of economy of motion, the principle of economy of motion. So as you begin to apply this and I do the step, that's perfectly fine to do that. Now, as I do this step, there's one thing that can happen with the top part of my body. We're discussing the bottom, let's talk about the top now. If I do this step, you'll see some people do this roll underneath. What's the problem with that? It makes it easier to get these off, for sure, but the problem is, I haven't done anything to this person on the low end, and as I begin to bend, I have to worry about him doing other things. And with that also, he can take advantage of the upper part because I'm giving away my lever again. By bending, he can then take advantage of me, kind of like what we do in crossing talons and other techniques, where we force the person to bend. So how do I solve for that? So how I solve for that is as I do the sweep, I keep my back up straight as I step. Now, let's turn this a little bit so you can see it. So if you notice, I kept my back up straight and got us into the proper position. Now, what I want to do is I want to think of this arm being pressed against the elbow with my left and my right hand pressing up. This is basically crossing talon, only with their own arm. So the reason why I want to do this right away is notice what's happening to his upper body. As I begin to apply the pressure, he begins to lean over. Now he's in a bad position. I'm in a really good position, which means I get the upper hand. So let's turn this a little bit different this way. So we do it again. So we get to this position, do the sweep. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick this leg across this way and do the break directly up. So let's switch around again. So as I'm going to do it this way, let's take it from this point again. I'm going to kick this knee and then break up again. So what you're going to see me do sometimes in this, because I don't want to break his arm, is I'm going to pull with this left and push with this right. So you're either going to see me let go or you're going to see me not really push. But the idea is it's thrusting salute. Okay, so this is essentially thrusting salute from the rear. And then instead of hitting them, I'm going to take this right hand, I'm going to let go so that you can see it, and break it right through the left. Okay, so let's do this again. We'll do it from a completely different angle this time so you can see it from a different angle again. Let's walk through it again as we're talking our way through it. So I'm going to step directly to the side. I'm going to take my hands, grab right below the thumbs, take my elbows, press them against my chest, the third hand, and we're going to create that downward V. I don't want to pull him because then he can anchor his elbows and take advantage of me. I want to step straight back. I don't want to make a circular path. I want to keep my back up straight. I don't want to give up my lever. I then want to kick to the knee and break straight through the arms. Okay? One more time from a completely different angle so you can see it again without any explanation this time. Hope this video helps you. Thank you very much.